So, guys, youth sports and the cost of youth sports is kind of back circulating the airwaves of Twitter. A lot of because of the USA getting knocked out earlier this week. And it all kind of started from this tweet here. Take this full, Steve. Clay Travis tweets, one big soccer thought, youth development has to get more affordable. One of my kids plays travel. It's at least $5,000 a year, which isn't super high. We can afford it, thankfully, but a lot can't. Youth sports costs in the U.S. are out of control. Soccer more than most. And then a former U.S. player, Alexi Lalas, has said that is a competitive market with business selling a product that obviously consumers are willing to pay for. I love it with soccer free for all, but who will pay for this free soccer?
Isn't Alexi Lalas on TV the guy that everybody hates?
He is a soccer analyst currently on Fox. Yeah. He played in the 1994 Cup.
Everybody hates him.
Yeah,
Clay Travis is awful.
It's a bad take.
Oof.
Right. I personally think youth sports should be accessible to all, but I wanted to talk about it today because you currently have a son who's like at that age about to start doing travel. And then, Zach, I know your kids are playing travel baseball. I figured I'd call in the experts here and get your guys' general thoughts.
Well, I don't know that I'm an expert. I mean, my son doesn't play travel sports. Your son plays travel baseball.
Yeah.
And travel we don't play. I mean, travel baseball is, to me, overpriced. And in some cases, in some organizations, I'm not saying this with yours because I don't know what organization you're involved with, it's a money grab. And I don't like the way it's run. What do you think about it?
Well, we used to play for an organization that wanted to have more fundraisers and practices, so we had to get out of that. I think the two things. I think at the core, it's the people willing to pay it that have turned into a business. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But then you get to the point that, like, what's your other option?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what people do.
Yeah.
So I think there's then a difference between, okay, we have to pay it. It's where you get better. It's where you find the best competition. But why are we getting charged $10 to go watch these games?
Yeah, it's absurd.
Why is it $35 to get in to watch bad basketball? At 8 a.m. on Saturday, and then wait all day to find out and come back on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's a money grab, and so someone has to push back. And so we've done this to ourselves.
Yes,
and this is capitalism, and people have done it. It is big, and so the core problem is it's a big business. It doesn't have to be, because guess what? The really good ones are going to be found, and the really elite ones won the genetic lottery.
Yeah. And that's the thing, Zach. It's like, I get it. When I was a kid, there were no travel options. Like, I played Little League, and that was that. Like, there was nothing.
And you learned the game, and you loved the game all these years later.
And I was someone as a kid who was obsessed with baseball. Like, I would have wanted to play in all these leagues that these kids play in, and I would have wanted to be a travel kid when I was. But the truth is, like, I can only speak for Rocky River because that's what I know. So my son doesn't play travel baseball, but I know a lot of kids that play travel baseball. I know the coaches. I know all these guys. And to me, there's too much of it. Each grade in Rocky River, I think this is still the case, or at least the grades anywhere close to my son, there's two travel teams per grade. And then there's another coach who's a friend of mine who created another team. Like in Rocky River, all the teams are in this organization called the Bucks. And then there's another guy who created one team. It's a 13U team this year, although it's mostly 12-year-olds. And then they were playing too. And I said to him, and I said to my friend George, who is the B team 13U coach, I said, bring the kids into our pony league. Let's face it, folks. How many of these kids are going to even play D1 sports? Not many. Not many. You got to be realistic.
Yeah.
So spending, like, to play on the Bucks, and it's a good organization. There's a new person in charge. There was a little controversy. There's a new person in charge. Her name's Allison. I know her. I've gotten to know her a little bit because she's going to be coaching a team in the fall baseball league that I run. So I've gotten to know a lot of these younger kid coaches, and she's now running the organization. I'm sure it'll be run better. But what I've said is, like, they pay over $1,000 per kid. If you're on the B team, what is our B team travel kids going to play Division I baseball? There's almost no chance of that. Come play in the Pony League for 8th and 9th graders. Yeah, maybe you're not playing as good a teams, but you're not going to lose 30-2.
Right.
But, what are you learning when you're losing 30-2? Are you learning anything? I don't believe that.
I think most of it is so. It's crazy because the first sport I ever played was baseball. I
Yeah.
never played basketball until I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
I never played football until I was like 14. I
Yeah.
never, like nothing. I'm not
Yeah.
touching it. They're like, I'm not about to be that high. I'm not tackling nobody. And I just was better at baseball. So my dad was always a baseball coach. So when we started, it was like you would like Mighty Mites, and it was the city was running it. And I think what happened is there's an infrastructure problem because that government money was going to a pool that said you didn't have to pay to play. Like you just got drafted. And they had it from 6 all the way up. You started when you were 6 to you could play 6, 7, and 8. And then you play 8 through 10, and then you play 10 through 12. And it went from the Pee-wees, the Mighty Mites to the majors. And everybody got to play no matter how you were. You got drafted. You stayed with the same coach. So you grew up. You developed teams and rivalries. And then it got to a Legion Ball. So Legion Ball started, and that's where it started getting competitive. So after that, I went to the 13-year-old groups, and then that was the start of travel ball. And when I was 13, I played on a really good travel team, and it was based on Northeast Ohio. We went out everywhere. We were really good. We really never lost. And the goal was to be like, okay, we were going to try to go to the Little League World Series. After that, and we lose in the regionals, my dad goes and says, yeah, we're pulling you off the team. And I'm like, what you mean you pulling me? He was like, we're going to start a team. So my dad started a team. He went to the Urban League and said, hey, you should give us a grant to get this thing started. So he got it. He was like, yeah, and you're going to teach everybody how to. And I'm like, what do you mean teach them? He's like, no, I need an example. Like, so he went to the projects.
Yeah.
To every, like, if you was an athlete, if you was fast, or you played base, if you played football, he just went and got the athletes, right? And out of that group, the proud moment was, out of that group of people, there was 6 or 8 of us that played high school baseball. And at that time, in the black community, if you saw 1 or 2 black people playing baseball, you thought it was crazy, especially at McKinley. It was like, yo, you guys will play basketball and football. But he helped change things. Guys went on, it was 3 of those players that went on to play in college, Division I. So I say that to say this. A lot of times these people is paying for access, right? If you're paying $1,000,
we've allowed it as a society to become that.
Yeah, and this could go on for hours, but to piggyback off what he said, here's it's not for everybody, and some people should pay, and some people should go out, seek out the best competition and the best training. But we've watered it down that the best coaching is not available. There's not enough pitching. Anything.
Right.
But at the core, here's my problem. We've taken away the right for a 10 or 11-year-old to just pick up baseball and play on his neighborhood team. Because who knows where that's going to lead him.
Right.
The 11-year-old that played soccer or baseball can't just pick up basketball because they want teams and fans. He should just be able to dribble in a circle and get coached by it. A few years ago, Bull, this is when I lost my mind. And I'm going to try not to swear. Hudson gets picked up for a tournament. His team's not playing. So it's at this city-owned park in Akron. And there's 5 fields going. This has 6 or 8 fields, but there's 5 fields going. He's in the older division. There's 2 older games. 3 of the games that night are 10U. I mean, these are little kids.
Yeah.
It's a city park. They've rented the park. They don't have a concession stand. They don't have restrooms, and they're charging people $10. And why is the city park available? Because there's no regular youth baseball.
There's none.
Yeah.
There's none. So I'm like, we have failed on so many levels. So we go back Saturday for the second, and we come in, we pull in, and the lady's there to take the money, and I just keep on going. And Mitty says, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I said, I refuse to support this. They can come pry it out of my dead hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's wild, bro. Like, dang, like that really, you really took a stand.
Well, I want to bring tout. I want to bring city. Like we have a good Little League in Rocky River. There's no reason kids should be playing travel ball at Little League age. And our Pony League, there was some shakiness in the first year, but we're improving it. And a lot of the kids from the B13U travel team are leaving that and going to play in the Pony League that I opened. But I'll tell you this, I'm at the end of the process. I run this fall baseball league, okay? We created it. My friend George created it. It was his idea, and I've kind of run with it. The first year we had 14 teams, different ages. Last year, we had 12. Last year we had 14. This year we have 21 teams. So I'm a little overwhelmed because I haven't delegated well, and I put together the rosters, the uniform info, the schedule, all by myself over the last week for 21 teams.
That's crazy.
And then the second I sent out the rosters, I got parents complaining that not enough of their friends together. Parents who have done nothing to help. One guy's like, "Could you give me a call?" And I didn't even
See,
respond.
you're brave, and my dad did this. My dad ran the youth baseball league and helped run the youth basketball league in our tiny little town. And he was great, and he wanted to do it, and it helped. But he would never be able to do it now because now they can text you, email you all the time. He just would be able to let the phone ring and deal with it when he was done.
Right. Anybody that sent me, I will tell you now, if you're watching, if you're one of the people that sent me a complaint email about the rosters, I will not be responding. I am not responding.
Right.
You've done
It's
nothing
fall
to help.
baseball.
It's fall baseball. They'll make, just because one kid lives in Rocky River and another kid lives in Westlake, doesn't mean they can't become friends. I mean, my gosh.
We really have.
The parents ruin it. The parents ruin it.
Adults have reverted. Adults, like I believe that, an adult in the 80s was much more capable.
Yeah. I'm not returning. I'm not calling you because your 8th grader doesn't get to play with his
And think
friends.
about it.
He's a big boy.
Think about it. We used to have it where it was like you was just on the same squad.
Yeah.
I got drafted by the Royals.
Yeah. By the way, so
4 years in the organization.
We put the local drive-through or convenience store or drugstore sponsor your team. You were the Royals.
You was the Royals.
Yep. Yes, that was
forever.
We did this year. We did. We have 4 divisions. I have a one division of kids that are going to 4th and 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing together. Then the 6th graders are by themselves. I used to have the 6th and 7th graders together, but we separated them. Then there's a 7th grade division. I'm actually coaching a 7th grade team and an 8th grade team.
Y'all crazy.
But for the 8th grade teams, it's 4 teams. And we did a draft, me and the other 3 coaches, which was fun. And I have one of the players on my team is a girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only girl in the league. I had never seen her play before. She came, we brought in, every kid had to be evaluated,
Mm-hmm.
And I saw her, and I was like, "Oh my God, this girl might be she could be the best player in the league, certainly top 5." And she's playing in the 8th grade division, even though she's only going to 7th grade. She has a twin brother. He's also fantastic. I made sure to draft both of them.
He didn't post the whole thing. By the way, girls at that age are they're more physically advanced than men.
There's going to be women's professional baseball this summer for the first time in like 60 years.
Listen, we're putting too much emphasis on games and winning in middle school sports and stature.
Yeah.
I saw a guy post on Facebook, my son's leaving for this and this school. And we're proud of the legacy he's left at this school. He didn't leave a legacy. He's 13.
He's 13. Legacy.
They really said that about a 13-year-old?
Yes.
Bro, listen.
I think that's why I'm... First of all,
and here's what 13-year-old baseball is. It's the kids that have mustaches and muscles versus the kids that don't.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. Yeah. There's one.
So that's why if you're learning and you're around your friends and you remember 30 years later that game.
Yeah.
Right?
That was it. I remember playing Akron Elliott. I remember playing double headers. High school baseball is the greatest thing ever because you're isolated. You remember growing up with these kids all the way through.
Yeah.
And like you said, I will agree. Man, you know how hard it is. I was really good in high school.
Yeah.
When I got to college and they said, all right, well, come on out here and try it. You know how good you got to be.
I played everything and I stunk, right? But, I gave it a go. I was on a team. We did summer league. We did camps. We did all that. My brother was better. But we never paid for this stuff.
Nothing.
I mean, there was fees to be in the summer league at the J.B. Stern Center,
reasonable
right?
fees.
There was fees.
J.B. Stern
You
Center.
didn't have to pay to go to the game.
Right, but you didn't pay to go in, right? Hudson played 2 games yesterday at Westlake High School. My wife paid $35 to watch.
I had to pay.
It's crap.
My son was in a middle school wrestling meet that I had to pay $10 to get into. I'm like, this is insane.
No.
This is insane.
That's crazy.
Now, that being said, the cost, no kid should not be able to play a sport because the cost is too expensive. So I don't know what the answer is to fix that, but that shouldn't happen. Right. And there are reasonable options. My son, I was telling you guys before, like we went out to Amherst. Nice people out there. I met a nice guy named, I think his name was Joel. I hope I got that right. Who was a big fan, and he was a really nice guy. We met some really nice people. I'd never been out that far. It's not like it's that far, but out to Amherst. They were nice hosts for the swim meet. And my son is becoming, I think a very good swimmer. His coach said, he's a high school swimmer. I don't, beyond that, who knows? He's too young. But I don't say it to create pressure, just because swimming seems to be, there are club teams, but there's not like this travel craziness when it comes to swimming, I think, although I don't know.
You're probably wrong, but I don't know.
I am probably wrong. And it's like for fall ball, and for Pony League, it's like $150. It's reasonable.
Keep him in it.
Not $1,000 plus.
My mom and dad, I listen, I give them respect because they always told me, you can play anything you want. The only thing we got is we're not going to let you quit. If you
once you make the commitment, you're in.
You got to finish the season. So I actually started playing baseball, then I started playing tennis. And it was like, okay, well, they put you in things to see what you like, right? So I played baseball, and then I was like, I played tennis. I got better at baseball. I was like, I don't feel like hitting nobody. Now, my brother played football when he was 6, all the way through. Now, the great thing about it was there was a point where I was fresh enough to grow into something that I wanted to do.
Right.
Like, I got cut from my basketball team, and I said, I want to work hard and get better to play in high school. So I took a whole year between 7th and 8th grade and my dad told me, he's like, and I just worked with him.
Yeah.
He said, you shoot with 2 hands. You'll get cut every time. You can't make a left-hand layup. So we worked on that. And I made the team and I got good and I made the high school team I played for. So, but I had time to grow into the mental aspect of my body, figuring out like, okay, this is what it takes to play and be good. And I had time to figure it out. And I always am thankful because if I would have played all those reps and all them practices and all these other sports, I may have never got to a point where I felt like, hey, I really want to do
many
this
games, too much emphasis on winning.
I know.
Got to get better.
They don't practice enough. And I don't listen, I'm not a stick in the mud. I mean, I am a stick in the mud on some things.
Right.
But I'm fine with kids celebrating and being excited within reason. But some of these celebrations go over the top. And it leads to poor behavior and poor attitudes, and parents allow that. Kids need to have fun. I like to draft. We did this draft. Not only did I want to get good players, but more importantly, I wanted good kids. I like coaching good kids that have a good attitude, that treat even the worst teammate, who's the worst player, as a good.
You're learning to be a good teammate.
Be a good
doing
teammate.
all these life
be a
skill
good,
things.
Have a good attitude.
Yeah.
And be respectful of your teammates, your coaches, and your opponents. And there's too little of that.
Well, that was our PSA on youth sports, Anthony.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, one more positive too, for Parma at least. Parma rec soccer is fantastic. It was fantastic when I was growing up. I never got the chance to travel, but I got to do rec soccer my whole life.
There is one team in our 7th grade division, which we now call our all-star division. That is most of the kids are from Parma. We clumped them all together, these Parma kids.
Mike Dawson was a menace. He used to play for the Yankees. He was our rival. He was even good in baseball.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not a surprise.